Good morning. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers have stepped up efforts in the past month here in New England to track down and take those without proper paperwork into custody. The emphasis, they say, has been on arresting those with criminal records. Late last month, ICE arrested 65 people in Connecticut in what they called Operation Broken Trust. Right now, an operation called Patriot 2.1 is underway just over the Connecticut border in Massachusetts. Here to talk about the latest developments is Maggie Mitchell Salem. She, of course, is the Executive Director of Integrated Refugee and Immigrant Services, better known as IRIS. Welcome.
Thank you.
Last time you were here, we talked about the drastic cut in funding that your organization was facing and the people that you helped being so apprehensive. So give us the update since you were last here. How's the organization doing, and how about the population that you help?
Sure. We're okay. We're okay because Connecticut residents have stepped up to help us and to help those we serve. The people we serve are not okay. Refugees, people who have a pathway to permanence in this country, are afraid. You know, when reporters call me and ask to show the human story of what's happening in our community, I can't get people who have green cards to talk to them. People are afraid. And the fear is really the point, because they're hoping that the fear will make people leave, even people who have legal status. And those who have lost legal status, which is now a growing community of Ukrainians, Afghans, even Afghan allies, and Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, Ecuadorians. There's not a population you can name that has a significant immigrant percentage of this country that hasn't been impacted by these changes, and everyone is feeling the fear.
So what is your message when these people come to you, some who you've worked with in the past, others who may just for the first time be reaching out looking for information? I know you've been active with outreach events over the past few weeks, and those will continue. What do you tell them?
First, we ask them how they're doing. People just need to feel that there is someone in this country that cares about them, that isn't out to get them, literally. And then we assess what their needs are and what programs are still available through us, through the state, whether their eligibility has changed. By October 1st next year, refugees, people who have flown, who have escaped conflict and persecution and poverty in other countries, they have come here for safety and security, they will lose access to Medicaid. These are people here who have legal status. They lose that access in just over a year. So for those that come to us and say, I need to get a green card fast, we're setting up a green card and legal support fund in order to help them.
What is the effect on the undocumented community? I know you've talked a lot about refugees in your answers so far, but there are people who have either overstayed a visa, came in at a legal border crossing. We've seen some of these ICE raids at car washes. That was well publicized. Now there's some operations up in Massachusetts happening as we speak. What is the effect on those communities as the individuals? And a lot of people who say, this is I'm a Trump supporter and this is what I voted for. That's the message from some people. So what do you take with that?
Sure, and I understand that. First, I just want to say that we have to be able to respect different opinions in this country, and there was a heinous act of political violence earlier this week that should never have occurred, and whether I agree or disagree does not matter. I'm going to add another population to that set of people that you mentioned, and those are people who have just lost their status. So there are now close to 1 million people, if not more, who had legal status, who are getting swept up in these raids. They have done nothing wrong. The federal government has decided to shift policies rather dramatically, and that is having an impact. If you're going to be going after criminals, why would you arrest immigrants in courthouses? People who are going there, not to criminal court, in order to change their status, in order to prove that they have a valid claim for asylum in this country. Why would you arrest them? They're not criminals. They're people who are actually following the law. So I have to dispute the claim that, great, we're sweeping all these terrible criminals. We're not. We're sweeping up people like our grandparents, like our great-grandparents, who came here, are working hard and providing for their families. It's kind of interesting, you're seeing a lot of raids at places of work.
And we've heard anecdotally that landscaping businesses, some construction crews are having trouble getting people to show up for work because they're concerned about their status. Are you hearing that as well?
We're hearing that, and then I would ask those that support these policies to think about the impact on them. and it impacts everyone. There's no us and them in a country. We are one country, especially this country. If you can't get a construction worker to finish building a house, sure, that's going to increase wages, and maybe that is a very good thing, that workers are being paid more. That is also going to increase the cost to you. So we have to think about all of this in the totality. You might think that a program in immigration action, well, great, go after these guys, they deserve it. What does that mean? First of all, what does it mean for us as a nation of immigrants? My grandparents came here from Poland and Scotland. Not sure about your family, Eric, but we all, except for those Native Americans, can trace ourselves back to other countries. What does it mean when we're treating people who may not seem like us differently?
You said there are some effects on people who aren't even part of any of these populations.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So I'm really proud to be in a state where the Attorney General, William Tong, joined 19 other attorneys general and the Attorney General from the District of Columbia to get a federal court to stop a rapid rule change that the Trump administration was trying to put into place. And this rule would have changed eligibility requirements for access to programs ranging from Head Start, domestic violence, public health programs, education programs. And again, some might say, well, I heard that that was because they were trying to deny immigrants the ability to access those programs. And sure, do you know where your birth certificate is? Because you're going to need to prove, just like I would need to prove, my ability to access those programs. And at agencies that have had the funding cut and staffing reductions, that means that you're going to have to wait longer, you who are an American citizen, in order to access those benefits. Changes don't impact a narrow band of the population. They impact all of us.
We have 30 seconds left. Moving forward, what does IRIS do and what do you do to get this message out?
We focus on the people that are here that want to work and contribute even more than they already are to communities. And so we're focusing on English language learning, not because English has become the language of the country, but because it has always been the language of economic opportunity here. And we're hoping that in Hartford, there is an understanding that maximizing immigrant potential in this state is really going to define us.
All right, well, we've had John many times in the past. I suspect we'll have you back. This is certainly a topic that we're going to be talking about a lot. Maggie Mitchell Salem, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.